Hi, thank you so much for showing interest in this Business Excel for Workplace Problem Solving Mastery course. Let me come straight to the point and explain to you why this course is different and how this course can add value to your career. Reason number one. See, for many people, they feel a lack of confidence or they struggle when they start working with large and complex data sets. Why? Because when they learn Excel using a very simple data set. Most of the time they use only one single Excel file to learn Excel. But at work, the situation will be entirely different. The data set can be complex. So it's important that when you learn Excel, you learn Excel using real world data set. So in our course, we will be using the data set of an IT contract, where you will be working with the multiple different data sets, and you need to bring all of them together sometimes to build reports and dashboards. So you work with budget data sets, you work with actual data files, you work with revenue cost files and other lookup files. And this is the way, if you want to if you want to build confidence, you need to start working with the real world data set, and that is what we will be doing in this course. No matter how many videos we watch about Excel, we cannot be good at Excel problem solving if we don't solve problems. Now, if you ask me one reason this course is different, I'll tell you. In this course, I don't teach you Excel features, functionalities, tips, or tricks. Right from lesson one, I'll teach you how to solve problems. We start with the basics, and then you move on to solving problems. You use text functions to prepare your data. You use date functions to prepare your data. Everything is a problem. Like, I will ask you to calculate total working days. All basic problems. You start with the very basic problems, and then you move on to number functions challenges like labor budget summary, creating a labor budget summary, and then you start working on lookup challenges. Like, I'll ask you how to use XLOOKUP with wildcard. How many people are under leader Deepesh Jain? And then you move on solving logical functions challenges, where you will be asked to build various scenario-based calculations, like calculating 2H forecast, scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3, right? So this is like in a real world. How do you get questions or how do you get problems, and then you learn how to solve them step by step. Coming to reporting challenges, then you will learn how to summarize data. You will work on pivot tables, and then you will start summarizing your data, like other expense total percentage for 2023. I will ask you to calculate, and I will show you how to solve this problem, definitely, step by step, right? And then you will work on reporting challenges, and you will work on building a budget versus actual IT project financial analysis, right? And it is like in a real world how analysts work on reporting. Like, from client requirements, they work on reporting, like understanding the requirements, asking right questions, and then structuring the report, gathering the data, performing ETL, and then designing the report, right? Building your calculation sheet. So you will go through all this process step by step when you build the reports, and then you work on the dashboards. So let me show you the requirements that you will be working through when you build a dashboard. So if you look at this is a headcount dashboard requirements, right? So there are two dashboard views. So one is for the headcount, and you will be asked to build few views, and then they'll say travel spend to dashboard. So these are some of the requirements that you will be solving, right? So something like show a view of budget versus actual travel variance by year and month. Based on actual data, create a forecast view for the period July 23 to December 2023. So you will use Excel's forecast functions and many other techniques to populate who are the top 10 employers with the highest travel spend, right? And then there are some access control requirements from the client or from the manager. For example, there are 20 managers. Okay, now each manager has an ID and password. So if the manager logs into the dashboard, Excel dashboard, they will enter their ID and password. If the ID and password are correct, then they will be displayed. Then their projects will be displayed, and they need to select their projects. And when they select their projects, the dashboard is populated only for that projects. So the requirement is the dashboard views are dynamically updated based on the manager login details. So these are the kind of requirements that you get and you solve when you work through the requirements and dashboard exercises in this course. And let me tell you, I have not used any programming or complex programming skills to complete this. I have used some very interesting techniques to solve these problems step by step, and that is what you are going to learn. Okay, so why this course is different? Because I'm going to teach you Excel by solving problems and scenarios like in a real world. Let me give you another reason why this course is different. See, in real world, the problems are never easy and straightforward to solve. Let's take an example. See, in this course, okay, one of the problem is how many people are working under leader Deepesh Jain. Now, you are working on an IT contract and you have a list of employees who are working on this contract, who are like project managers, architects, developers, and so on, right? Now, what your manager wants to know or what your client wants to know is how many people are working under the leader Deepesh Jain. Now, we don't have the leader name here. The leader column is blank. Now, where does this leader come from? See, we have another file which is for the project. Now, in the project file, you have the leader name. Now, we need to bring in this leader name, Deepesh Jain, right here to the other file for each employee. But how do we connect both these files? In Excel, you can use VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP, right? But can you do a straight VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP here? The problem is to do VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP, both files should have a matching column and it should exactly match. And now, what is that matching column here? See, in this project file, you have a project ID, which is basically the common variable or common ID that we can use to connect both the files. But the problem, there are two problems here. The problem number one is this project ID is also merged with a project name field. So we need to separate the project ID into a different column. Second reason is that the project ID here is PID 001. But here, if you look at the project ID is project ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need to make sure that the both IDs are exactly the same before we can do a VLOOKUP. So we need to go through multiple steps to complete the to solve the problem, right? So this is how we need to solve the problem in real world, because you will not get the problems, very simple and straightforward problems, to solve, right? So for example, if I want to make sure that this project ID looks like PID 001, what I should do is I can simply use a text function, right? And then add 3 zeros in front of this, right? Make it 3 digits, right? So now it becomes 001, and then I can add a text PID here, right? I can add a text PID here and then join that with the formula, right? Now it becomes PID 001. I can also add I can also make it PID 00 and then join that with this one, right? PID 001, right? So there are multiple ways to solve the problem that you will be learning, right? So what I mean to say is, it's not about your Excel knowledge. It's about the ability to solve problems step by step. And that is what this course will teach you, right? So how do you solve complex problems? How do you understand problem, analyze problem, and solve the problem step by step? That is what you need to learn for high-paying roles. You will build reports from base data, from raw data, like a monthly plan versus actual analysis to show what is the budget versus actual variance for each month and for each quarter, right? To analyze the revenue, cost, and profitability performance. And you will build interactivity like you want to view the report for individual projects or you want to view the report for all the projects, right? So these are the reports that you'll be building from scratch end to end. Again, you start working with client, understanding the client requirements, and then you will build the report step by step. So it's not like you start building this report right away. No, you need to understand the requirements, structure the report, and then understand the KPIs, and then build your calculation sheet. And then before that, you need to do your data study, understand what data point is missing and what KPIs are missing and what are the KPIs calculations. So be clear about KPI calculations. And then once all this groundwork is done, then only you start working on building your calculations, designing your report, and building interactivity. So this is a step-by-step process that you are going to learn in this course. You will learn to build the dashboards. You learn some interesting techniques to build dynamic dashboards where you can control the dashboard view based on the user login. So here we have the user ID, so LM567, the password, so it shows a password error. So okay, so now the password is correct, and I select the password, and then I'll go to the project. I select my project, right? And then I can go to the dashboard, and then the dashboard is populated based on my user login, right? So the travel dashboard and the headcount dashboard. Now, if another user logs in, the view will be entirely different. So these are some interesting techniques that we use to build such dashboards. And then I will also teach you how to design the dashboards. My simple 14 steps framework, right? To design any dashboard very quickly. See, let me tell you first of all, dashboard design is not about making the dashboard fancy and jazzy, right? Dashboard should be simple. It should not be complicated. Any dashboard view should be communicating only 2 to 3 takeaways to make decisions, not more than that. We should not be cluttering the dashboard with so much information, right? So Keep the dashboard always simple. So you will learn the principles how to build the dashboard and some very interesting techniques I will be sharing you to make the dashboards look dynamic. So if you learn this dashboard skills, you will be able to build any dashboards very quickly. So that's the kind of exposure you will be getting. So if you want to learn Excel the way experienced and expert professionals use Excel to solve complex business problems at work, this is the Business Excel course that can guarantee you transformation, confidence to solve complex business problems at work from very basics. Now, if you are a job seeker, you can add multiple skills and couple of projects, the dashboard projects, reporting projects to your resume. And if you want to step into next level roles, which are Excel heavy roles, this course will give you 100% confidence to use Excel for complex problem solving at work. What if you have questions? This is an advanced level course, and you may definitely have questions at some point. So currently, we have 2 weekly connects on Fridays and Saturdays to clarify your doubts. So you can join, connect with me, and bring your issue or problem from the course, and then I will help you to solve it. And I also share new problem scenarios during the connects on a regular basis, right? So that way you stay up to date with the new features, new problem solving techniques, right? So it's not just about a course, it's about joining part of a community where you constantly, continuously upgrade your skills and stay up to date. Let me ask you this. Is there any other Excel course you can find which is affordable for a one-time investment, which brings a lot of practical knowledge, techniques, and skills using real-world project-based problems and scenarios that makes you not only good at Excel, but also improve your problem-solving and analytical skills, plus ongoing and continuous support to clarify your questions and doubts and teach you new Excel skills and techniques. I genuinely want you to learn Excel for better roles, for better career growth. And I mean it. I will reward you with new certifications and trainings when you complete this Excel course 100% and learn everything from this course. Once you complete Excel, I'll teach you Power BI to build the dashboards end to end. We will build one of the Excel dashboards in Power BI from scratch over a 5 days live training, 10 hours workshop. And I will also teach you how to use Excel plus AI at work to stay relevant. And all this come free. There'll be no additional charges, and I'll teach you all this as a reward when you complete this Excel course 100%. So if learning and upskilling excites you, if problem solving excites you, I have more than enough for you in this course. Plus, I'm going to teach you new techniques and scenario problem solving when you join my Advanced Excel for Workplace Problem Solving community. So go through the details and sign up now, and I'll see you inside. Thank you.